This is my instant match reaction to the Liverpool 4, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg. And to use a phrase that I've used before famously, men against boys. Tottenham Hotspur did not show up. Tottenham Hotspur, be it because we don't have the players, we don't have the energy, or we're not coached as well as Liverpool are. I don't have the answer for you. I guess the reality is probably a mixture of all of those things. But we went there as if to just dreadfully hope that Liverpool weren't going to be up for it and we could just let them have the ball the entire game and not be brave in any way. Pussy out of the game, basically. And I listen, the three midfielders who started that game, Sarr, Bissouma and Bentancur. And I have to say, before the game, I thought that was probably the right pick. Strength and energy and bravery. Bissouma, for a player who you think likes to come into the sixth position and get the ball off his back four and take it on the half turn and be brave. My God, he had no belief in his ability whatsoever. Liverpool pressed us. When the ball was with the goalkeeper or the centre-halves, they pressed with four players. And then the key point was, when we tried to move the ball around, they sprinted. Whichever player had the ball of our team, they sprinted. And they were at them every time. Not like when Tottenham, when Tottenham give the ball away and we try and press the opposition, we don't sprint to that opposition player. We wait till he takes his touch and then we limber over, we amble over. And today, all Ange's chickens came home to roost. And I'm not solely blaming him, but once again, I do have to say, and I bring it up every time, but someone tell me that I'm completely wrong. Why have we got so many fucking injuries? Why are we playing a team like Liverpool who've had hardly any injuries this season and they don't get injured and they don't get recurrences of their injuries? Richarlison, again, injured tonight. Played 40 minutes, gets a calf muscle. They're all playing in the red zone throughout the entire game and every single game. Perhaps Sarr there shaking Ange's hand and kind of smirking. Perhaps Sarr had one of the worst games I've ever seen from a Tottenham midfielder, honestly, certainly in the last few years. And he should have been taken off at half-time. And somehow Ange waited another kind of 10 minutes to take off both Bissouma and Sarr. And as a result, whereas we were only 1-0 down at half-time, they then get the second goal and it's game over. It's game over. I'll try and look for some positives. Danso, I thought, did all right. Tell showed a little bit in the second half that he's got some good touches. He's brave on the ball. But how long will his hamstrings last? You know, I'm sorry to bring it back to the injuries again every time, but it cannot be coincidence. Another recurrence of an injury. If Richarlison's coming straight back from an injury and you brought a player in like Tell, Richarlison's going to be playing in the red zone. So don't start Richarlison, start Tell. And he didn't. And it's come back to bite him because I'm sure Richarlison will be out for another minimum 3 weeks, month now with a calf strain. But it doesn't matter because we were just shit. Honestly, we were just so bad. So bad. We didn't make a single chance of note in the entire game. We hit the bar in like the 88th minute through Sonny because we played one good ball from Tell down the line. Sonny gets towards... We're already 4-0 down at this point, by the way. Sonny gets to the byline, basically, and he's in such a tight position, you would never, ever say shoot. And he was just like, well, we're 4-0 down, so I'll have a shot. And he pings it against the bar. That was it. Kelleher didn't have to make a single save. We've actually embarrassed ourselves tonight. And the reason I'm going to bring it back to Ange, and I want to state again, I love Ange Postecoglou. There is nothing I would like more than for this to work out for Ange Postecoglou and for him to come through with what he said, which was, I win something in my second season. Well, this was your best chance, Ange. The League Cup was your best chance of winning something this season. And I've said it all year. I think our only chance of winning the Europa League this season was if we won the League Cup first. And we've just gone out in the semis and we've been absolutely embarrassing. Like, as embarrassing a performance as I remember from a Spurs team, probably actually since the League Cup final when we played against Man City and were completely subservient to them under Ryan Mason. And then they got their goal in the 85th minute or something from a corner. I'm not even going to go through the minute by minute because there's nothing about Spurs in it whatsoever. We just sat back in the first half, waited for them to get their goal, which they're always going to get. And of course they got the goal because Yves Bissouma gets some space in midfield. As ever, as I've said a million times on this, just like sums up what happens under Ange Postecoglou. Yves Bissouma, who can do the hard things incredibly well, then cannot play a 5-yard pass into the run of Pape Sarr. It goes behind him. Liverpool pick it up. They're running at the box. Bissouma's kind of jogging back. Laissez-faire about whether he comes and helps out. Then Salah's one-on-one because we're caught ahead of the ball. He crosses it with the outside of his boot. Could have been stronger trying to clear our lines. We're not. And where does it get to? The back post, where we concede so many goals from. Gakpo totally on his own. Easy finish. Just volleys it into the corner. So that's 1-0. And then, like I said, I think we should have made changes at half-time. He doesn't. I don't know why. And then it's 2-0 with a penalty. Again, Spurs just trying something which we weren't capable of doing. Ben Davies, if memory serves, trying to play a ball between the lines. Liverpool just have so much more energy, so much better at reading the play. They split it up. Comes to Salah, who's free because we're caught ahead of the ball. He plays a through ball through to Nunez. I thought Kinski was going to get there first. He doesn't. Nunez gets the touch, dives over. Salah puts the penalty into the top corner, and it's over then. We know it's over because we've seen against teams like Palace and Ipswich this season. When we go down by a goal, we have no chance of getting it back. So we're certainly not going to do it against Liverpool. And from there, they got the third and the fourth. And third, I think if memory serves them, just 2 passes, driving a bus through the centre of a huge gap through our midfield and back 4. And the fourth, if that's in the right order, Virgil van Dijk from a header from a set piece. Like literally all the goals, just the absolute epitome of what happens every time we concede under Ange Postecoglou. This is in a semi-final. This is the game we're supposed to be most motivated for all season. I've been saying I think Spurs will be more motivated for this than Liverpool because this is the least important of all the trophies they're in. And by God, I don't know. I said it during the watch-along, but maybe they were so pissed off with what happened with Lucas Bergvall's winner in the first leg that they were just unbelievably pumped up. And they just chased us. They harried us. They suffocated us. It was endless. We could not get out. And this is supposed to be what the antithesis of what Ange Ball is all about. I said it in the watch-along. He went with Celtic to the Bernabeu and played Real Madrid off the park for like 45, 60 minutes. And sure, they got torn apart then. But under Ange, he's like, no, we're not going to go anywhere and just be subservient. Today we were. And I don't know if it's the players taking things into their own hands on the pitch. And that's what happened at Brentford. And it worked for us on Brentford. But tonight it really didn't. But also with the caveat that when they do try to play balls between the lines and try and be clever with it, against Liverpool, they could not handle the energy. They could not deal with any of it. And Liverpool just tore us apart. Just honestly, I've written a note at the end of my notes. The most one-sided game I've seen in so long. And honestly, it's hard to see where we go from here because we're going to go to Aston Villa devoid of confidence. Villa will put the high press on us again as well. They will watch this Villa's night. They have the whole week off and they'll be like, just get in their faces. Just challenge every single ball. You'll win every first and second ball. You'll have more energy than them. And we might go to Villa at the weekend and lose 3 or 4 as well. And then we're out of both cups. We're 14th in the league, got the Europa League ahead. And answer me this in the comments. Do you think Ange Postecoglou keeps his job then? Do you think so? The only thing saving him, I think, what's happened to Amorim at Man United and how a change hasn't done anything. It's made it worse. And the fact that there are no options, maybe only Terzic. It does look like Levy backed him with those signings at the end of the window, but also you could argue they're signings that any manager who's looking to try and play some kind of attacking system could take on as well in Tell and obviously Danso, a pacey centre-back. I thought he did well tonight, Danso. I really do. Only one kind of thing you could maybe point at him. Could he have been braver, put his head into the mix for the first goal when it comes across the box? Maybe. But I think he did well. But I don't know. Maybe I'm angry at myself because I just thought they would be just first into every tackle, show some heart and show some want and press Liverpool up, but they didn't. They didn't have the energy. They didn't have anything. I guess I'll give some ratings. Kinski, he came and punched a few and claimed a couple, gave away a penalty, so I'll have to give him a 5. Spence on the left, I thought was probably our best player. I'll give him a 7. Danso, I'll give a 6.5. Ben Davis, I'll give a 6. Archie Gray, not his best game. Not his best game. I'll give him a 5. Sarr, 3. Bentancur, 4. Bissouma, 4. Kulusevski looks absolutely spent. He looks absolutely knackered, and as a result, he's making bad decisions. His form has dropped off a cliff. I'm going to give him a 4. Son, I'm going to give a 3. Horrible performance from him. Richarlison, 4. Tell, when he came on, I thought he showed some good touches. I'll give him a 6. Porro, 5. Mikey Moore, not enough time to make a difference. Ugly, ugly stuff from Anfield. We're intimidated by the crowd, by the ground, by You Never Walk Alone. We never get a result at Anfield. We've only won what there once, I think, in the Premier League era. It shows we don't have the fucking fight for this. And the only time we've had the fight to go places like Anfield, I'm sorry, was under Pochettino. And somehow we have allowed Maurizio Pochettino, when we had the second chance to get him in, we have allowed him to go and do the American national team job. And we didn't know how lucky we were to have Maurizio Pochettino. I'm sorry, guys, but we didn't. And I know people say never go back, but he gave us a spirit where we could go to places like this and fight. I watched Spurs at Anfield where we drew there 2-2, where Harry Kane scored that beautiful goal on the half turn in the box. And we've never had the spirit like we did then. Oh, so frustrating. That's been my instant match reaction. Thanks for watching. Please do give this video a like. Please do subscribe to the channel. So gutting. So gutting. And I fear for the weekend at Aston Villa.